This is for all you multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money. Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good.
Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Oh.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara, Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Braylon Lee's virtual tour live. We are live on tour once again. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. Child, listen, I try my very best to always give you guys something that goes beyond what you could just hear about, what you could just see, and I hope I did that in spades for y'all. So with that being said, higher is weighing, low is available, but either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. Yes, indeed. You see the virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear the virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is... hey, everybody, let's do what we do. We got one more tour to go on. It is day 8 of the Diddy trial. I know. Everybody covered it earlier. Child, we just had a epic celebration for Universal Epic Universe. So please forgive me, okay? Please forgive me. Here we go right here. From NBCnews.com, Sean Diddy Combs trial recap. Agent testifies about drugs, pals, and sex supplies found in Miami home. Combs faces 5 criminal counts in total, including 2 of sex trafficking. He denies all the allegations. What to know about the sex trafficking trial? Sean Diddy Combs' trial featured testimony today from Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Gerard Gannon, who led searches of Combs' properties in Miami and detailed the drugs, pals, and sex supplies found there. Psychologist Don Hughes provided expert opinion on abusive relationships, saying victims of domestic violence or DV can feel trapped by physical, psychological, and financial control. Her testimony comes after Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura provided extensive and graphic detail about alleged abuse at the hands of the rap mogul. Combs' former assistant George Kaplan also briefly took the stand, and his testimony will resume tomorrow. Kaplan described the demanding job of being Combs' bag man and cleaning up liquor bottles and baby oils from hotel rooms. Rapper Kid Cudi was slated to testify today, but his appearance has been postponed until tomorrow. Cudi is expected to testify about his relationship with Ventura. Combs faces 5 criminal counts. 1 count racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has ferociously denied the allegations against him. This live briefing may include graphic descriptions of sexual violence. For resources on sexual assault, call the National Sexual Assault Telephone Hotline. Sign up for the Diddy Trial newsletter for key developments and analysis, and listen to Dateline's nightly podcast. Shout out to NBC News. Y'all know my coverage is very simple. I give you the updates, give you some, I give you a video to complement that, and then 2 other articles, and then we're out. Because, like I said, you can go Pam Esquire, you can go to Leah Turner, you can go to all the law experts. We give it to you socially over here. So let's make it do what it do. Court is adjourned for the day. Kid Cudi is expected to take the stand tomorrow. The jury was excused for the day, and court will resume tomorrow with continued questioning of George Kaplan. A total of 5 witnesses will be called, including Scott McCuzzy, all the rap star known as Kid Cudi. Cleaning up baby oil and liquor bottles in hotel rooms among job duties, former assistant says. Kaplan testified that one of his duties was to clean hotel rooms for Combs, saying that photos of checked out messes could be embarrassing and sold to tabloids. The former assistant said the rooms would often be littered with liquor bottles and baby oil after Combs stayed in them, and on one occasion he found white powder near a sink. Coca-Cola. I'm saying Coca-Cola to protect us over here. The witness also said that packing Combs' medicine bag was always a lengthy challenge, as various pills, including Advil, Tylenol, and ketamine, always needed to be included. Kaplan recalled once receiving a delivery of MDMA Combs in Miami. All right, then. Former assistant details difficulty of working for Combs, says his job was repeatedly threatened. Kaplan claims Combs regularly threatened to fire him, with the rapper saying he only wanted the best employees possible, sometimes in a motivational tone, sometimes in an angry tone. That goes back to Cassie Ventura's testimony of, Diddy having mood swings, if you recall. Combs also had very exact demands that needed to be met when traveling, such as filling out a list of toiletries that need to be packed for overnight, Kaplan said. Kaplan was also required to unpack the toiletries and arrange them so they are all facing forward, which would regularly take 30 minutes, the witness said. So you mean to tell me you can't even do your own ish? Bro, you gotta get somebody. Really? So, you don't pack your own clothes and, get your toiletries and get your hair gelled and, black magic oil sheen and stuff. You don't do all that yourself. Okay, God forbid. You do have a lot of enemies. Maybe that personal assistant, maybe not this one, but maybe another personal assistant might have personal vendetta, might want to mess with your stuff, but God forbid that. rolling on. Just saying. George Kaplan takes the witness stand. A former assistant to Combs, George Kaplan, was called to the witness stand by the government, rather. Psychologists confirm she doesn't evaluate sex offenders and is paid by prosecutors. The forensic psychologist testifying for the government has never before appeared for a criminal defendant. She said defense attorney Jonathan Bach asked Hughes if she's ever represented anyone accused of a sex crime. She said she has not. That's correct. I don't evaluate offenders, Hughes said. Bach also asked Hughes if she was making $600 an hour for her work with prosecutors, which she confirmed. Moments later, under a prosecutor's questioning, Hughes recalled that she has been hired once before by defense lawyers to evaluate a woman who unalived her abusive husband. However, the psychologist said she didn't end up on the witness stand in that matter. So when it comes to this forensic psychologist, what does her being paid have to do with this case? The defense problem is there are over 400 lawsuits and there's a lot of testimony matching up. So you're going to, try to mentally mollywop a forensic psychologist that this is what the fuck she does of covering crimes of this magnitude. And she's a woman as well. So y'all are defending somebody who obviously in the court of public opinion has been, found guilty, but has not been found guilty in a criminal court of law as of yet. So that was a weak ass move from Jonathan Bach. Psychologist agrees that she has a comprehensive evaluation of anyone in this trial. The defense wants to minimize Hughes' impact by pointing out that she does not have detailed knowledge of this case and allegations made against Combs. Hughes appeared to agree with Combs' defense that she doesn't have this level of intimate knowledge and hasn't done an evaluation of the alleged abusers and victims because the witness wasn't asked to do so. Earlier during direct examination, prosecutors anticipated this line of questioning and asked Hughes why she hasn't interviewed the defendant or witnesses here. Hughes told the court that she wasn't legally allowed to do so. If you're being told legally you're not allowed to do something and there's consequences, you're going to follow what the government tells you to do. So what? You thought that was a big win for y'all? By the way, this is Don Hughes here. Psychologist Don Hughes there. Back from lunch and Hughes resumes testimony. The forensic psychologist Hughes returns to the witness stand to continue her testimony. The expert on trauma and abuse could be key to prosecutors who want to show how Combs allegedly victimized and controlled women, even if they didn't leave their toxic relationships with the music mogul. Witness George Kaplan granted immunity to testify. Government witness George Kaplan, a former assistant of Combs, entered court after Hughes wrapped up saying he was there after receiving a subpoena. Earlier in the day, there were concerns over whether he plead the Fifth Amendment and not testify. Prosecutors offered to grant him immunity if he answered questions, but warned that his protection does not cover perjury. After Kaplan's attorney reviewed the legal document, the judge executed Kaplan's immunity, and Kaplan will testify later today, or did testify later that day. That is George Kaplan there. Got like a Justin Timberlake in sync haircut kind of thing going on, or a Ryan Seacrest white tips thing going on, but it's more, refined. But that's neither here nor there. Court breaks for lunch. Hughes paused her testimony as court breaks for lunch until 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Defense mechanism for abuse victims is delayed disclosure, psychologist says. Abuse victims will sometimes delay disclosing what they've been through, fearing fallout such as shame or not being believed. He said that's why abuse will likely first be disclosed to a very close friend or loved one who will be viewed by victims as the most trusting ear, according to her. And the trauma itself can impact the victim's memory, Hughes said, as combat veterans, child SA victims and others have shown a propensity for failing to recall exact details as stress narrows attention. So if we remember Dawn Richard when she was on the stand and how she said that she suppressed memories of what she went through because it was too traumatic. That happens all the time, right? So what the psychologist is saying is not wrong. The defense is not liking this because these are facts from a social point of view and not from a legal point of view. That's what that is, ladies and gentlemen. Psychological, sexual, emotional abuse, and financial dependence used to control victims, expert says. DV victims fall prey to psychological, sexual, and emotional abuse, as well as financial dependence, making it all the harder for them to fight back or cut themselves loose. Hughes said victims suffering from psychological abuse walk on eggshells and focus on how to stay safe in the moment rather than a big picture solution, such as exiting a toxic relationship, according to Hughes. Sexual abuse can bring shame and humiliation, which leads victims to worry about keeping this harm private, which again keeps them from seeking an ultimate end to a bad relationship, she said. The price of emotional abuse leads victims to simply believe they're not worthy of anything more, thus draining them of the energy or motivation to get help, she said. Hughes described financial dependence as very important as it deprives the victim of the material resources needed to leave an abusive relationship. She said, if you don't have the money, you are left with a feeling, where am I going to go? So basically, if you own the cavalry and you own the artillery of the cavalry, right, the resources of the cavalry, then you determine how you fight in the war, right? So very well said by Dawn. I think her name is Dawn Hughes. Let me make sure. Yes, Dawn Hughes. Shout out to Dawn Hughes. Very well said by Dawn Hughes about the defense mechanism for abuse victims is delayed disclosure, and also to psychological, sexual, emotional abuse, and financial dependence used to control victims. Shout out to psychologist Dawn Hughes. Very accurate, on point, and well stated. It is common for DV victims to stay with abusers, psychologist says. Victims of DV often stay with their abusers as they feel like there are no better options, Hughes said. These victims who stay in these toxic relationships tend to fall into three categories because they feel trapped, they still feel a bond to their abuser, and they believe that the act of leaving the relationship is far too complex to achieve, the psychologist testified. Hughes' testimony could be key in prosecution efforts to fight the defense narrative that women such as Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, could have left their 11-year relationship. And the fact that this has been researched so heavily and it has been corroborated through so many different realms of, journals and studies and research, it's making the defense look like the piece of shit weak team that they are. Don't get mad at me, defense team. The leader of your team, Mark Anfelio, said 1 bottle of baby oil goes a long way when your client has multiple bottles of baby oil that got confiscated by the government. Don't get mad at me, get mad at Mark, your leader. Hey, go to James Hodge on YouTube, King speaking. Hey, I like that name. Good to see you, good sir. Once again, glad to have you here. Hughes is no stranger to high-profile trials. Combs' trial is the first time Dawn Hughes has played a role in dramatic legal sagas at the nexus of celebrity and power in the post-#MeToo era. In recent years, Hughes has taken the witness stand in other high-profile sexual misconduct trials that drew national attention. When the NXIVM sex cult leader Keith Rainey went on trial in 2019, there was an actress from Smallville that was a part of that. Allison Mack, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's a huge documentary. There's a couple documentaries on this sex cult on YouTube. So shout out to all the people who made documentaries of that. Hughes was on hand during this trial of this sex cult, when the sex cult leader, Keith Rainey, went on trial in 2019. Hughes was on hand to explain to jurors how serial sexual abusers gaslight their victims. 2 years later, Hughes testified at R. Kelly's federal trial, telling jurors that the R&B singer has subjected victims to psychological entrapment. And we saw the verdict for R. Kelly. Although R. Kelly was dealing with underage people, P. Diddy is dealing with adults. Although there are some lawsuits that are saying that Diddy SA'd them underage. So there is that. Raniere was found guilty of racketeering, sex trafficking, and possession of CP. R. Kelly was convicted in 2021 on 1 count of racketeering and 8 counts of violating the ban at a law that bars transporting people across state lines for any immoral purpose. I think that might include sex trafficking, P. Diddy. Hughes reached a new level of national awareness after testifying at the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. Heard ultimately lost the defamation case, and she has not been seen since. I think she's overseas, mistaken. Don Hughes takes the stand. Special Agent Gerard Gannon has wrapped up his testimony and left the stand. Prosecutors have now called Don Hughes, a clinical and forensic psychologist, to the stand. Hughes is dressed in a cream-colored suit. Defense seeking to minimize POW evidence. Combs' team suggested that the number of POWs, including those with serial numbers removed, found in his Miami home, are not that significant or as dangerous as they appear. Really? So the AR-15s that could end someone's life is not important to this case? When Diddy and his team went to Mel's Diner to, Nuck If You Buck with Suge Knight, that it wasn't dangerous when Cash Ventura had to hold some heat for Diddy. It's not enough that he had all of those pals for any time he wanted to, and this was a regular schmegular occurrence with his team, so that's not important. Okay, defense. I mean, yeah, y'all the smart ones said no one ever. Under cross-examination by defense lawyer Terry Garagos, Gannon agreed that many of the firearms were wrapped up in tape and not loaded, thus inoperable. Just because they're wrapped up in tape and not loaded, thus inoperable, doesn't mean that they can't be operable and doesn't mean they cannot be loaded. Are you that fucking stupid, Terry Garagos? Gannon also agreed with Garagos that POWs without serial numbers could still be linked to owners by fingerprints, DNA, hair, and fiber. Of course. Now, Diddy, you know that's yours, bro. You know that's yours. You know that's yours. You like, what was that? I did. How'd y'all find that? I never had that in my house. A bullshit. Kid Cudi not testifying today. Grammy-winning rapper Kid Cudi will not testify today. Prosecutors said the 41-year-old Rs had originally been scheduled to take the witness stand later this afternoon, or today, with testimony spilling into tomorrow. But now it looks like Kid Cudi won't begin his direct examination by federal prosecutors until tomorrow at the earliest. Hand, POW, and bullets found in guard area of Miami property. In the guest house of Diddy's Miami property, a .45 caliber hand POW was found in a red suitcase at the entrance to the guard shack area. A photo of a magazine and bullets in a baggie were displayed in court. So was that where, your security detail, they lived in the guest house on property? Bin of baby oil, dozens of bottles of lubricant, and rubber duck found in closet of Miami home. Give me a moment. See, why we gotta do this? Why we gotta do this? Y'all are not gonna like the reference I'm about to bring up, child. We'll get to the reference here in just a minute, everybody. Okay, in just a minute. Authorities and rubber duck found in closet of Miami home. Authorities also found a bin containing 25 bottles of baby oil. Give me one moment. Just Mark said what he said. About the bottles of baby oil. I think at this point, it is what it is. That Mark Afelio is a dumbass lawyer. Just saying. So here it is here. Let me bring this up here. Oh. Give me a moment. Come on. Oh, and then after this, I got a story for y'all. Or a couple of stories, actually, that child we'll talk about. Because it does relate to Diddy.
I was the fat friend, basically, in school. I did feel isolated. I felt like giving up. I felt like giving up on life. I tried everything, and then I found Mochi.
You're responding really well to the medication.
I called my friend Nicole. So we've been on this journey together. I've lost over 100 pounds and my entire life has changed. I can do so much more and I'm ready for new adventures. Check out joinmochi.com.
This is the type of indictment you would expect from someone in the mafia.
I don't know that I could keep him off the stand. He is very eager to tell his story.
They're going to show that video over and over and over about what happens to women that won't change their stories.
His reputation is over.
The United States government, they start making this case as a takedown of a successful black man.
TMZ presents The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, now streaming on Tubi.
They call them freak-offs. But, back when I was a kid in the late 70s, they were called threesomes.
If these are genuinely threesomes, how do you explain 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
I don't know where the number 1,000 came.
The U.S. attorney said it.
I can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. Hey, I don't know what you need.
2 more times?
It's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for. I mean,
U.S. attorney said it.
I can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for.
And according to the raid, there were 25 bottles of baby oil, 31 bottles of Astroglide lubricant, and a rubber duck in a closet in a hallway between the master bedroom and master closet of Diddy's Miami home. A photo of that closet and the items found inside were shown to the court. So here are all the bottles of baby oil. But you say 1 bottle of baby oil goes a long way. There's all the Astroglide there. You also got nitrous oxide. So before we move on to this, I just want to bring in a little reference to everybody. I'm so damn petty. I'm so damn petty. I'm so damn petty. Here we go, y'all. I had to do it. I had no options here. Here we go.
Well, here I am in my tubby again, and my tubby's all filled with water and nice fluffy suds. And I've got my soap and washcloth to wash myself, and I've got my nifty scrub brush to help me scrub my back, and I've got a big fluffy towel to dry myself when I'm done. But there's one other thing that makes tubby time the very best time of the whole day. And do you know what that is?
What is that, Ernie?
It's a very special friend of mine, my very favorite little pal. Oh, rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. Bo-bo-bo-dee-o, rubber ducky, joy of joys. When I squeeze you, you make noise. Rubber ducky, you're my very best friend, it's true. Oh, every day when I make my way to the tubby, I find a little fella who's cute and yellow and chubby. Rub-a-dub-dubby, rubber ducky, you're so fine. And I'm lucky that you're mine. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. Hey, rubber ducky, would you like me to scrub your back with my nifty little scrub brush? You would? Okay, how's this? Hey, you want me to scrub behind your ears? Oh, I see. You don't have any ears, do you? Well, how about your tummy? Scrub his little ducky tummy. Ooh, he's ticklish. Oh, every day when I make my way through the tubby, I find a little fella who's cute and yellow and chubby. Rub-a-dub-dubby, rubber ducky, you're so fine. And I'm lucky that you're mine. Rubber ducky, I'd like a whole pond of. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you.
Thank you so much, Ernie, for bringing your perspective to this case. We're going to just go right on back to our timeline from NBC News here. Capsules with ingredient linked to shrooms found in bathroom puffy box. A crystal rock-like substance with pills with the main ingredient of magic mushrooms were found in the Combs Miami home, the witness said. The crystal rock-like substance was discovered inside a wooden box marked Puffy. Gannon said investigators in the master bedroom also came upon a plastic bag of pills that would eventually test positive for the main ingredient of hallucinogenic mushrooms. Items found in Combs' home: phones stuffed in a Balenciaga boot and drugs in a Gucci bag. Gerard Gannon is back on the witness stand and was questioned about items seized from one of the master closets during the raid of Combs' Miami home last year. He described seizing a pair of red pump high heels. Did you go see Kinky Boots with Wayne Brady? By the way, shout out to Wayne Brady, a legend for sure. But did you go see Kinky Boots? Yes or no? And discovering cell phones stuffed inside a Balenciaga boot. Inside the closet was also a Gucci bag that contained white residue that tested positive for Coca-Cola and ketamine, not the actual drink, y'all, just covering ourselves over here. That bag that also contained smaller bags of different colored pills, including some sampled for Tesla symbol. Elon Musk is a part of this shit. No shit, Sherlock. Good. Yeah, it's a ping pong match, and I'm trying to find my equilibrium mentally. The Tesla symbol? Okay, that tested positive for MDMA and Xanax. So here it is. Here, that's what the government found there. Court is in session. Court is now in session, marking the 8th day of Combs' trial. Dawn Hughes arrives at court. Dawn Hughes, a forensic psychologist, is expected to testify later today. Arrived at court shortly before 9 a.m. Who is Kid Cudi? Kid Cudi is expected to testify today. He's going to be testifying tomorrow. He is a 41-year-old Grammy-winning rapper and singer whose real name is Scott McCulley. He is known for hits including Day and Night and Pursuit of Happiness. Cassie Ventura testified last week that Combs kicked her in the back at his house after finding out she was cheating on him with Kid Cudi in 2011. In her lawsuit filed in 2023, Ventura said Combs allegedly told her during Paris Fashion Week in 2012 that he was going to blow up Cudi's car after finding out about the affair. Around that time, Cudi's car exploded in his driveway, the suit said. And then that's Kid Cudi right there. Combs' lawyers arrive in court. Attorneys Xavier Davis, Donaldson, Mark Feller, Jason Driscoll, Brian Still, and Alexander Shapiro, who are part of Combs' defense team, were seen arriving at court at 8 a.m. There's Xavier Donaldson there. Here's a recap of yesterday. Yesterday, prosecutors told 4 witnesses to the stand. Yesterday, prosecutors called 4 witnesses to the stand. David James, Combs' former personal assistant, Regina Ventura, the mother of Combs' ex-girlfriend, Kaz Ventura, Sheree Hayes, a male escort who testified to participate in Combs' freak-offs, and Homeland Security agent Gerard Gannon. Their testimonies expanded jurors' views into Combs' alleged abusive behavior and into the complex relationship he had with singer Cassie. Regina Ventura, the mother of Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, says she felt physically sick after her daughter told her Combs threatened to release explicit videos of when she started dating Kid Cudi. Hayes testified that she was hired up to 12 times, everybody, for freak-offs. With the first encounter being at the 47 Tower, where he was tipped $1,200 or $1,200. James testified that he ultimately quit working for Combs after seeing the R's armed himself with 3 hand pals and wanted to possibly confront Suge Knight at a Los Angeles diner in 2008. That was Bell's Diner. 7:49 a.m. Kid Cudi expected to testify today. Rapper Kid Cudi and forensic psychologist expected to take the witness stand later today. The R's, whose real name is Scott McCulley, was mentioned several times in testimony yesterday. Combs became infuriated when he learned that his then girlfriend Cassandra Ventura had been spending time with Kid Cudi. Her mother said that prompted Combs to demand $20,000 from Ventura's mother for sex tapes he had of her daughter. 6:35 a.m. Cassie Ventura's mother testified at Combs' trial. Regina Ventura, the mother of Sean Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, testified she took pictures of bruises on her daughter. The jury also heard from Combs' former assistant and escort, who said he participated in freak-offs. And then right here, day 8 of testimony in Combs' trial, when jurors take their seats and U.S. District Court Judge Ernst Surian gavels court back in session this morning. The testimony of a federal agent who organized searches of Sean Diddy Combs' Miami properties will continue. Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Gerard Gannon, who led searches of Combs' properties in Miami, was on the witness stand late yesterday afternoon. He walked jurors through the complicated process of executing search warrants at the music mogul's home to find pals, sex toys, Astroglide, baby oils, and condoms. Condom roll. Sorry, let me do it right. Condoms rolls, condoms. Try and get it right. Condoms rolls, condoms. There it is, right there. By the way, there was a raid in Los Angeles, California. So, of course, I'm sure that the special agent for that raid will also be on the stand.
These jarring images of Cassie Ventura covered in bruises shown in court today. Her mother, Regina Ventura, testifying she took the pictures when her daughter was home for Christmas in 2011, quote, to make sure we memorialized the injuries. Regina Ventura also said her daughter's former boyfriend, Sean Diddy Combs, demanded $20,000 because Cassie started dating musician Kid Cudi. Ventura said she and her husband used their home equity line of credit to pay Combs. She said he returned the money a few days later. Ventura's testimony comes after her daughter took the stand for more than 20 hours, testifying that Combs subjected her to years of abuse and forced her to participate in drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs. Combs is charged with 5 counts, including sex trafficking and racketeering. He has denied all wrongdoing. Prosecutors have also shown the jury these pictures that they say show Combs' hotel room the night he was arrested, including bottles of baby oil and drugs. His former personal assistant, David James, today painting a picture of what it was like to work for the music mogul, testifying about an incident in 2008 when he went with Combs to try to confront rival record label founder Suge Knight. James said Combs had 3 guns on his lap, and while they never found Knight, James said he, quote, realized my life was in danger and ultimately quit.
Tomorrow, we expect a forensic psychologist to testify, and then after that, musician Kid Cudi, who says that Combs once blew up his car.
There you go. There. Here is a clip from News Nation. Testimonies against Diddy from Inner Circle startling. Here we go.
To the Diddy trial now, the forensic psychologist Dawn Hughes was on the stand earlier today, day 7. She was brought in by prosecutors to break down why victims of domestic abuse stay in relationships in many cases, how they cope, why it takes leaving the relationship for some victims to then open up about the abuse they were experiencing. The entertainment journalist Segun Oduolowu is back with us today on the case, and I want to talk about that testimony first, but I want to begin, Segun, if I can, with an observation I know that you were making, is that big picture, not just today, how many times that we've seen through the testimony examples of people that were just looking the other way when a lot of bad stuff was happening to Cassie or someone else. You feel like that's been a trend, right?
Yeah, Connell, as always, thank you for having me. And it's been so startling to me. Employees, former assistants, former musicians, everyone within the Diddy orbit, all have testified they witnessed violence, they saw it on multiple occasions, and yet they did nothing. And this spans years. Right? Cassie is with him, but all of these people, these bystanders, are watching it happen, seeing it occur, and still either continue to do business with Diddy or stay in his orbit. It reminds me of a scene in the movie Road to Perdition where Paul Newman and Tom Hanks are in the same room, and Paul Newman says there are only killers in this room. Like, there are no saints in this courtroom, right? Everyone testifying has got some filth on them too. And though it does not cloud what Diddy does, I think it helps to bolster what the expert testified to today, that you can be so enmeshed in this world that your reason, your understanding of right from wrong can go completely out the window. Don Richard especially continued to do business and stay in another group with Diddy after Danity Kane, after she testified to witnessing Diddy trying to hit Cassie over the head with a skillet. She still stayed. She still did music with him. So I think this gives a better picture of just how many people were involved in this, and whether the swarm was too much for them to see up or down, looked the other way while all of these atrocities were going on.
So Dawn Hughes, the psychologist, testified about what she described as a trauma bond that can form between a domestic abuser and a victim, that there's almost always love, attraction, and companionship in abusive relationship. You get highs and lows, and the victim feels entrapped because of physical violence, psychological abuse, surveillance, or financial control, Segun, which could be many of those things, but even that last point could be at the heart of this case.
Yes, financial abuse is something that needs to be looked at, because what we've heard in so many, forums and chats and discussions all around is, why did she stay? Oh, she must have stayed for the money. But financial abuse, when you're dealing with someone as all powerful as Diddy was, he controlled, and Cassie testified it. He paid her rent. He controlled who she saw, what she wore, where she went, and even how she made her money. He was in control of all of that. That financial abuse is not something to overlook, because it was a way of him keeping her in control, and it was a way of him keeping his whole empire in control. All these people beholden to him for a paycheck, willing to go along with atrocities that they probably knew weren't
Even got her mom involved, which you heard about yesterday. Final point here. We talked about this before the last break. This is the federal agent was testifying this. What was found in his home in Miami? What were the items? So you got guns, 45 caliber handguns, several rounds in his suitcase, AR-15 parts, 31 bottles of baby oil, along with sex toys, women's high heels, and the like. So I don't know if we're surprised at this point, but that's what was there.
Not surprising at all. You know, there's this thing in court trials where they say if you have the facts, pound the facts, and if you don't, pound the desk. The prosecution is doing both. They're pounding the facts of an abusive, kinky, sexually deviant person by showing these pictures and parading these witnesses to testify to the violence. But they're also pounding the desk, saying, look at this, look at this, look at this, look what he is, which will play later in the trial when the defense tries to somehow rehabilitate the picture that's been painted of Diddy so far in this trial.
All right, Shagun, we're back to the trial in our next hour of coverage. We thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone. You will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.
Thank you, Chris Cuomo, for that at the end there. Now, I want to read, now, before I move on, everything that Shagun said is absolutely true, that even though his circle is testifying, they are still guilty by association, but also in the same token that they are guilty by association, from what we've heard, their lives could have been in danger. So you can't really thank God. Let me flip reverse right back. Let's just be thankful that the circumstances came about where the truth had to be revealed, right? So saw this story right here from the Hollywood Reporter. I'm gonna bring in some other things here as well from the Hollywood Reporter here. Free Puff t-shirts outside of Sean Diddy Combs trial may be part of a paid protest. The oddly quiet demonstration, which could be tied to Sean's son, son's dollar sign Diddy meme coin, took place outside of the Manhattan federal courthouse since jury selection began this week. So a person wearing a Free Puff sweatshirt arrives for the start of the Sean Diddy Combs trial at Manhattan Federal Court earlier this week, amid the scrum of reporters, vloggers, and at least one ranting reverend that formed the media circus outside the lower Manhattan Federal Courthouse at 500 Pearl Street stood a group of mostly black men and women, all donning the same style of black t-shirt with one of two phrases in support of Sean Diddy Combs emblazoned in white all caps, Free Puff and Free $ Diddy. They read, the Free Puff t-shirt was first spotted as jury selection began on May 5th, donned by Charlucci Finney, Combs' longtime best friend. Other than Finney, any groups of staunch supporters of Combs are scarce outside the downtown courthouse, as his team of powerhouse attorneys is in week 3 battling feds at the fallen rapper mogul's sex trafficking racketeer trial. This pop-up display of support for the defendant makes the group stick out in a crowd. With the majority of reporters inside the courtroom hanging on every word of testimony and anticipating reprimand of counsel from Judge Aaron Surian, journalist and podcaster Emily Hagan, host of Emily Knows Everything, drilled down on the sudden show of support to find out what was going on here. Was this some sort of paid protest, a show of support for the one-time chart-topping rapper, or something else entirely? According to Hagan's report, it was a bit of all the above. After speaking with some of the t-shirt demonstrators, she learned that this may have been a paid protest or a paid display of support that may not have been more out of grassroots support for Combs. In a clip posted on TikTok, one woman tells Hagan that she was approached while looking on at the silent Free $ Diddy gaggle, and then she said she was told by someone handing them out that she earned $20 per hour to wear a t-shirt for a few hours outside the courthouse as the trial was unfolding outside. Are you kidding me? So wait. Hang on. let me get my eyes just a job, because I just gotta make sure that I'm seeing this, hearing this, and taking this in, right? You mean to tell me that you gotta do a paid protest and pay people $20 an hour, and y'all say he did nothing wrong? Okay, child. That's crazy. That she earned $20 an hour to wear a t-shirt for a few hours outside the courthouse as the trial was unfolding inside. He told me it was for a Diddy coin, so I'm not really sure what that is, the woman told Hager in the clip. They tried to pay me $20 to wear a free puffy shirt. The lady right there just kept convincing me to wear the shirt, and I'm like, I'm good. The video caught fire, was soon viewed by 50 Cent, Combs' rap world rival, who never misses the opportunity to take a shot at his nemesis, and tried for some humor on his Instagram. Diddy paying people to wear free day shirts is diabolical, the rapper put in his caption on Instagram, but $20 an hour ain't bad. I might throw that on for an hour tomorrow. Now, you got a documentary coming out on Netflix, okay? So, listen, we're waiting for that, good sir, okay? Oh, Lord. An alleged paid protests are affiliated with the $ Diddy coin does raise some ethical questions regarding Combs' affiliation with the demonstration's organizers. That's because his sons, Justin and King Combs, by the way, has a SA lawsuit of his own, are behind his namesake meme coin, which hit the Solana blockchain on May 8th. The two have been running social media for the coin, and King Combs has been running his father's social accounts since his September arrest in the interest of spreading good energy. The $ Diddy cryptocurrency is a meme coin launched in the Solana blockchain and apparently primed to capitalize on controversy surrounding Combs' trial as it began trading just days after jury selection began. Since its launch, it has been promoted online by Combs and later by his friend and fellow rapper Kanye West. Oh, you mean the one that he said he almost killed his daughter? You mean that one? You mean that one? Okay, hang on. Give me a moment. You mean the one that's taking care of Diddy's kids more than his own kids? You mean the one that bought a home across the street from Kim Kardashian? You mean the one that relieved himself during a whole cultural meeting for Donda Academy? You mean the one who said out to 2 kids, I want to shave your head to lock you in cages? You mean the one that wore a sticker chain that was offensive to Jews? And it's a Yahtzee, not the game itself, but just covering us over here. The one that wore a Triple K outfit with an interview with a PDF file named DJ PDF Epidemics, who talked greasy to a 15-year-old in a Discord call. The one who had Pete Davidson in the ground and claymation in a music video. The one who blamed Disney and Hulu for showcasing his selectively bred black children. The one that said he didn't want to have children with Kim K 2 weeks into the marriage. The one who said his ex-wife was a sex worker and that her family are sex traffickers. You mean that Kanye West? Okay, child.
We love you, Kanye.
You mean that one? You mean that Kanye West? Where he said, we're not black, we're Indian? The one that almost made Adidas struggle because of his mouth? The one who, you mean this Kanye West, the one who showed his ex-wife in a sexually explicit way to Adidas executives? The one who blasted where his kids went to school on social media? You mean that one? The one who brought Northwest to hang out potential with the tape bros who are up in a trial for SA and prostitution and trafficking? You mean that Kanye West? Oh, okay. So that one's been promoting this point. Okay, got it. Helping pump its price, at least temporarily. The live $ Diddy price on Tuesday was 0.00001613 with a 24-hour trading volume of $594.74 there. Fueled by memes, drama, and raw internet energy, $ Diddy is the internet's way of responding with humor, with chaos, and with collective creativity, reads a statement on the Coin's webpage. Welcome to the spectacle. Welcome to $ Diddy. The Howard Report reached out to Combs Global to ask if Combs has any involvement in the t-shirt handout and sought comment on the allegations of sponsored protests outside the court. It did not immediately hear back. So I want to bring up DJ PDF Academics. Shout out to Anonymous T. I'm going to just skip just a little bit ahead here, because I want y'all to hear this.
Your workflow is important.
Yeah, you see that DJ PDF Academics claims Rock Nation tried to unalive DDG in regards to Haley Bailey.
Not forget whether you are coming or going to hit the like button. So today we're talking DJ Academics, DDG, and Halle Bailey all. And I just need to start off by saying that DJ Academics has been in several scandals, has been in inappropriate situations alleged with women, and it's the audacity for him to now try to come out and speak on DDG's behalf. Like make it make sense, y'all. And then you guys, at 2 a.m, makes an allegation that the DDG having a restraining order against him, Halle Bailey having temporary custody of Halo and everything else until their court date, tweets that this is an assassination attempt by Rock Nation, y'all. Okay, first of all, can somebody, I have been asking for over a couple of months now, can somebody provide me the link between Halle Bailey and Rock Nation? Can somebody do it?
Now, of course, Haley Bailey and Chloe Bae are under Beyonce's label, Parkwood Entertainment. DJ PDF Academics, being the piece of shit bastard that should have been swallowed by his fucking piece of shit mother. Oh, by the way, did I mention that he talked about his mom's citizenship and that people are calling ICE to get his ass deported? Did I mention that? Oh, yeah, I just did. Haley Bailey and Chloe Bae are not under Rock Nation, so now you're accusing of Jay-Z to put out a hit on DDG for Haley Bailey, knowing good to damn well that Jay-Z could end not just your career, not just your world, but your existence, motherfucker. And you had the Black Dads and Black Proxy, Black Imagination say this shit out loud, and you talk to a 15-year-old greasy in a Discord call. You got the Black Dads and Black Proxy, Black Imagination say, well, you're 16, 17 and a half, you still gonna get this dick? Aren't you involved in the SA lawsuit, your motherfucking damn self? And you want to say this about Jay-Z. Now, if Jay-Z says the word and something happens to your ass, bruh, it is what it is. I think that Saucy Santana and Jay-Z should bring the LGBTQIA plus community and the heterosexual community and handle your ass disrespectfully my damn self. But that's neither here nor there. Let's roll on.
Because there's no connection.
I'm just
the only connection is Halle and Chloe Bailey are signed under Parkwood, which is Beyonce's company.
Everybody,
which is her company, and Beyonce, of course, is under Columbia. Like, what are we doing? Just because she's married to Jay-Z doesn't mean Jay-Z is out here doing all this and all of that. Like y'all got to chill.
Oh my Lord Jesus.
So we are here because academics decided to tweet the following. He said, due to Halle Bailey's temporary restraining order put on DDG, he will no longer be allowed to legally have a pow-pow and defend himself. Defend himself against what, DJ Academics? Defend himself against what? DDG, who lives in LA, where home invasions and chain snatching robberies happen frequently, will be defenseless and unable to protect himself due to Halle Bailey's idiotic attempt to gain custody. Are you kidding me right now? Have you been missing the months where DDG is just completely dragging Halle Bailey and using their son for content and everything else while sitting there talking greasy and disrespecting Halo's mom?
Made a whole song about "Don't Take My Son" and used Halo in the thumbnail of the lyric video. Yeah. And by the way, I said what the fuck I said about how Saucy Santana and Jay-Z should handle him. Because guess what? He's made so many enemies at this point. It's surprising that DJ PD Epidemics hasn't been handled. And I'm sure Erykah Badu would love to get in on the action. I'm sure that Erykah Badu would love to get in on the action as well. Oh, and Young Miami would love to as well. He's got a long list of enemies. He all kept his motherfucking mouth shut.
Count on American Express. Y'all thought that she was just going to sit back and do nothing. She has documented the examples of DV. She's provided it to the authorities, and the judge ruled in her favor.
Facts.
It is not a, quote, idiotic attempt to gain custody. And this is the thing, too, because it's giving very rapper talk that you're concerned about DDG's chains, his chains around his neck. Like that's what we're talking about. And you're concerned about robberies and everything else. So you're telling me that the safety of Halo was already in question and in jeopardy with DDG before.
Well, I mean, if DJ PD Epidemics didn't give a fuck about doing the right thing by a 15-year-old being grown, move the fuck on, what makes you think he's going to care about a 1-month-old child?
All of this has came out, is what you're telling me. Because you feel it's appropriate to mention that he needs to have a pow-pow around this child while the child is in his care, is what you're telling me. That's what I'm reading between the lines, because I'm trying to make it all make sense, and it's not making sense right now. And then said, Halle has now left Halo's father defenseless and put a target on his back. If someone ran up on DDG and robbed him while he was with Halo, it would be her fault that DDG wouldn't be able to defend himself or his son. So again,
wait.
Who says stuff like this?
How is it Haley's fault for the position DDG put himself in? Motherfucker, if you care about him so damn much, move him into your fucking basement. You Mitch. Move him in. Move him into your basement if you give a fuck about him that much. Because as Saucy Santana said, he wants to see you outside, bruh. Nobody references you for shit. Nobody. Do you think DJ PD Epidemics was at Epic Universe tonight at Universal Orlando Resort for the grand opening? No, because he has no clout. He says he doesn't want to do it for industry fuckers. But yeah, he was on the Breakfast Club. Yeah, he was on Everyday Struggle. Sir, you are dealing with Spotify. You dumb fuck Spotify's with the mainstream media. Lord, roll it on.
So why is DDG number one in a situation that he needs to be packing and holding a pow pow with him while he is with his son? I thought Mr. Streamer was bragging about the millions of dollars that he has and how he retired his mom and how they live in mansions, how he can buy all this, designer that, and all of it's good, all of it's Gucci. So I would presume and assume that DDG lives in a nice neighborhood. I would presume and assume he would have the proper precautions in place with security systems, with cameras, and everything else, that if anybody illegally is on the property, something's going to go off, something's going to go down, the authorities would be alerted. This is another example of problematic men sticking together and going to the extreme when they can't get their way. So now that DDG has been silenced, he is not allowed to speak on Halle Bailey. He's not allowed to speak on Halo. He's not allowed to speak on any of the DV allegations. So first he had his family come out and they made a fool of themselves because in the court documents, Halle had cries for help, for them to help her after at least one DV instance, and they said thanks but no thanks. You're gonna have to just.
It's reminding me of Keke Palmer and Sharon and Darius Jackson when Keke's mom said that it hurt his brother Seronius Jackson, who allegedly he's allegedly a star in Hollywood, said no one ever, but he tried to deny access to his baby mama access to their child and did not want to take responsibility. And Seronius Jackson said to Keke's mom, I used to be that way too. So it seems like birds of a feather flock together.
Just leave the baby here and go.
First, we offer overnight boarding. Your pet will stay overnight in your sitter's home and not only be treated like part of the family, but treated.
But y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about the pictures of the bruises on Halle Bailey's body. Y'all don't want to talk about the chipped tooth or her head being ran into the steel.
I wonder if something would have happened to DJ PDF Academic's mama, to his sister, to his niece, to his grandmother, to his cousin, to his girlfriend. God forbid anybody wants to procreate with that piece of shit bastard. To any woman in his life that matters to him. I wonder if that energy that Haley went through was happening to any woman in his life. Would he have the same energy or no? It doesn't matter until it hits close to home. And I'm not wishing that on any woman in DJ Academic's life. DJ PDF Academic's life. I'm just bringing it home. That right is right, wrong is wrong. Rolling on.
Steering wheel. Y'all don't want to talk about any of that. Instead, y'all want to discredit her. Instead, y'all want to slander her. Instead, y'all want to defame her. When you ignored all of the hatred, all of the negativity, all of the gaslighting, all of the foolishness that DDG was doing this entire time, y'all turned a blind eye to it. Y'all didn't care. And y'all believed his foolishness. And he most recently just came out and admitted that he's lied, that he's a liar, that he lied about being celibate. He lied about abstaining because he was trying to get back with Halle. He was trying to get back with Halle. It didn't work. So now he, after several attempts, now since the restraining order's in place, now since he can't have contact with his son unless it's supervised. And that's the thing too. That's what's so idiotic about this tweet, DDG Academics. Like, you're making things worse for DDG. The family who's speaking out, calling Halle Bailey a liar, is making things worse for DDG. You're basically saying, per the court order, DDG, if he wants to see Halo, it has to be supervised. So you are saying, basically, you wanted a situation where he was back to unsupervised visits and having a pow-pow on him, which is dangerous and it's unnecessary. And why are you putting yourself in situations that you need to have a pow on you at all times, and especially in the presence of a child? Make it make sense. Like that one stream he did, I forget who it was that he was at, where there was all types of foolishness going on and everything else. Like it wasn't a safe situation. It wasn't a safe environment. But it is the audacity to blame Halle for any of this. DDG is responsible for his own actions and his own behavior and everything else. He chose to go this route. He chose to go this direction. He chose to make Halle Bailey's life a living HELLUYs. Nobody else but DDG, DVD, whatever his name is. He did that. But it's so stereotypical to say, to be concerned about whether or not DDG's chain gets stolen. Like, and him having a pow on him, like, really, DJ Academics? And then having the audacity, like I said, to call this a assassination attempt from Roc Nation. Y'all keep blaming Roc Nation for everything. And my question is, where's the proof? Where's the receipts? You are the same person also who defends Tory Lanez, and again, blames Roc Nation, says Roc Nation's got it out for him, and da-da-da-da-da.
By the way, I know some of y'all may be wondering, Braylon, you haven't commented on the Tory Lanez, Kelsey, Megan Thee Stallion triangle thing that's happening, because it was settled in a motherfucking court of law. Okay, I know that Tory Lanez rolled for Kelsey, but guess what? Kelsey and Tory Lanez still did shit to Megan Thee Stallion, so they both deserve what the fuck they got. Okay? Okay, it's been settled in a court. That doesn't negate what Tory Lanez's verdict is. And Kelsey ought to be lucky that she hasn't been dragged, battered, and mentally damaged socially in more ways than one. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Roll it the fuck on.
And then also said DDG cannot legally own a GUN, a pow, and to defend himself in Los Angeles, she basically set him up to unalive. What? What do you know how insane this sounds?
Oh, before you leave, can you turn that document into a PDF for me? Thanks.
At 5.
Do you know how insane this sounds? It sounds like to me, maybe DDG needs to change the crowd of people he's hanging around. It sounds like DDG needs to change his environment, that if he feels he needs to have a pow on him. Because make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. But nonetheless, that is it, and that is all for this video, because I can't believe this tomfoolery. I can't believe that this is the audacity, that this is what DJ Academics thought to tweet at 2 a.m, that DDG's life is in danger, and that if something happens to him, it's Roc Nation's fault. If something happens to him, Halle Bailey set him up to be unalived. What? And Roc Nation put out a hit on him, an assassination attempt. And again, there's no link to Jay-Z. There's no link to any of this. You are just talking out the side of your neck. You're just saying anything to garner sympathy, to send out a bat signal to the manosphere to attack Halle Bailey. And I am over it. And all y'all doing, the judge has already set the tone that he's not happy with the antics on social media. So now you put out this inflammatory tweet, you put out this inflammatory foolishness in thinking that you're defending DDG, but you're really about to make things worse for him on his upcoming court date, because now there's concern about him packing and carrying a pow around the child. And he already has to, at the moment, has to have supervised visits. Make it make sense. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.
Gorgeous comments. There, like, comment, share, subscribe to that beautiful sister right there. So like, subscribe, hit the notification. So that way, you know, when she uploads her videos there. So I wanted to bring that up because I'm just like, really? Like, did you not see what happened to Toss Away K? Did you not see what happened to the nosy hole that dug too far deep and now she's in a hole that she can't get out of? And did you see what happened to Malago Scam Shots Conscious TV? Did you see what happened to Fresh and Fit? Did you see what happened to Earn Your Leisure? You see what happened to Shannon Sharp? This is what you want to do, DJ PD Epidemics. Now, if Rock Nation want to provide support to Haley Bailey, along with Parkwood Entertainment, and they take your motherfucking ass down, legally or otherwise, we gonna turn and we gonna say we ain't see shit. Because your ass has been on the block for a long time. Now, that was from a male point of view, right? Of that men can do fucked up shit. I want you to look at this from blacknews.com. Trigger warning, everybody. Just zoom into the headline here. Middle school principal from Delaware admits to raping student under 16 for years. I'm going to say that 2 more motherfucking times. Middle school principal from Delaware admits to raping student under 16 for years. 1 more motherfucking ass time. Middle school principal from Delaware admits to raping student under 16 for years. But y'all defending Diddy. DJ PD Epidemics, who talked to a 15-year-old Greasy on a Discord call, is trying to get Jay-Z implicated for a hit. And this woman did this shit. Let's get into it. This piece of shit bitch. Who did this? Tasha Parnell, a 44-year-old former middle school principal in Wilmington, Delaware, has pleaded guilty to 2 counts of third-degree rape and 1 count of continuous sexual abuse of a child. Her plea was entered Monday in Superior Court following a lengthy investigation into the repeated assault of a minor under the age of 16. The investigation was conducted by the Delaware State Police Troop 2 Criminal Investigations Unit, according to the state's Department of Justice. According to Local 12, Purnell's crimes occurred between 2010 and 2014 when she was a teacher at Stanton Middle School. She later became principal at AI Middle School, not A1 Middle School, for the 47 supporters that listen to Linda McMahon, the Secretary of Education. Oh, you didn't know? The Secretary of Education, who's a dumbass, waste of life, confused artificial intelligence for A1 steak sauce. Let's roll on. She later became principal at AI Middle School in 2020, a role she held until she was suspended and ultimately fired in September 2024. Authorities said they do not believe that there were additional victims in this case. Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings condemned the abuse in a statement, calling it heinous and absolutely unthinkable when committed by someone entrusted to guide and protect children. She praised the work of prosecutors and state police and promised Purnell will face full accountability under the law. As a part of a plea agreement, prosecutors dropped 16 other felony sexual offense charges. So, because she took a plea, prosecutors dropped 16 other federal offense charges and will face a recommended maximum prison sentence of 8 years. So hopefully by the time this racist, bigot, waste of life president gets out the office, in the next 4 years, we actually repair America. By the time she's done in 8 years, all the world will be made whole, hopefully, soulfully, and joyfully. Though the charges could have carried a sentence ranging from 6 to 75 years. And she's 44 years old. Let's just see. Something. this particular age. If she got those 16 charges added to her sentence, and she got a 75-year sentence, right? Right? Give it a moment as it loads up. She would be 119 years old. Okay. Right is right, wrong is wrong. If it wasn't right for Jonathan Majors to do what the fuck he did, but yet he could still marry Megan Good, and if it wasn't right for Kelly Price to say there was a Sunday best judge that fornicated with some little boys and messed around with someone's spouse, but yet did not have the black audacity, black proxy, and black imagination to open up her fucking mouth and say who it was, I'm equal opportunity over here. Whatever we don't confront, we allow. Back to our destination right here. Purnell's sentencing is scheduled for August. Public records show that Purnell continued receiving her salary after being placed on leave in September of 2023 when the investigation began. Neither parents nor school staff were notified of the probe or her indictment in August of 2024 until it was reported 2 months later by WHYY, as first known by People Magazine, People.com. After her plea, a judge revoked her bond and ordered her to be held at the Dolores J. Baylor Correctional Center pending sentencing. So, for everybody defending Diddy, would you defend this woman doing what she could have done? It's going to come out this way in the short, so I'm going to point this way, which will point this way. But would you have support this woman doing what she did to your child? Would you support a waste of life PDF file of PDF academics saying out loud, whether you're 16, 17 and a half, you're still going to get this dick? And that could have been your daughter? Be good. Raped her? I'm just asking questions. Now, finally, y'all, this story is just, I'm reporting on this because I'm just like, what the hell? This is how low journalism has gotten, okay? Now, I'm just reporting it as you're hearing it. MediaTakeout.com. Exclusive. Diddy appears to frequently pass gas during trial. I'm not joking. Now, of course, Media Takeout's a needle on haystack, so you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. But here we go. Inside the courtroom, Diddy's demeanor under scrutiny as federal trial unfolds. Sean Diddy Combs is currently on trial in what could be the defining legal bout of his life. It is the defined legal battle of his life, facing serious federal charges that carries decades in prison if convicted. Yeah, basically life. Media Takeout has been inside the courtroom every day since opening statements, and beyond the dramatic testimony, we've been keeping a close eye on Diddy himself, his body language, his reactions, and his composure. And while much of the courtroom is focused on the witnesses, evidence, and mounted accusations, it's impossible not to notice Diddy's demeanor, which has been anything but relaxed. Each day, the mogul arrives in tailored suits, flanked by attorneys and security, presenting a calm and calculated image. But once inside the courtroom, especially during intense testimony, he appears visibly uneasy. Media Takeout's courtroom observers have noted frequent shifting in his seat, adjusting his posture, leaning forward, then leaning back, all signs of discomfort. At times, he appears physically uneasy, squirming in his chair, fidgeting with his clothes. There's even been moments in the court when courtroom attendees exchange glances over odd or sudden noises coming from Diddy's direction. Nothing overly disruptive, but noticeable enough to prompt whispers. Whether it's the tension of the moment, stress-related physical symptoms, or something more mundane, it's clear the mogul isn't entirely at ease. While we can't say for certain, Diddy appeared to Media Takeout media takeouts court observers to be frequently passive gas during the trial. During emotional or incriminating testimony, especially from his accuser, Cassie Ventura, and her mother, his actions are mostly stoic, though there are flashes of visible tension, a clenched jaw, a quick side glance, or deep exhale. What's also worth noting is how the courtroom seems to orbit around his presence. When Diddy enters or exits, there's a subtle shift. Media observers, even legal staff, pay close attention. He chooses commanding rooms, but in this space, he's no longer in control, and it shows. Several courtroom attendees have commented quietly about Diddy's discomfort during proceedings, while some suggest it's the stress of facing a potential decades-long sentence. Others say it's reality of hearing years of allegations laid to bear in such detail under oath. Federal trials are marathons, and so far Diddy has kept a relatively composed front, though the emotional physical toll is becoming increasingly evident as the days wear on. One court observer put it this way: he still walks in like a man used to being in power, but once the testimony starts, you can see the weight of it all pressing down. This trial isn't just about what's said on the stand, it's also about what's not being said and how it's perceived. And based on what we've seen inside the courtroom, Diddy may be trying to maintain a common serious, but the pressure is unmistakably building. Media Takeout will continue to bring you the latest from inside the trial as it unfolds. Stay tuned for more exclusive courtroom coverage. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was day 8 of the Diddy trial. I'm gonna turn off my camera now because we've done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. You know, it's good to hear. You know, just know that I really am. That's fine. I could care less. They're basically saying I can't make any money on it because of the How to Train Your Dragon thing. That's fine. That's fine. Honestly, all that was just trying to have a good time with people. So it is what it is. But basically, to say for everything to have happened in this trial, this is day 8. I will just say this. There are only 2 ways this is going to go: guilty or not guilty. But one thing to know, 2 things for sure: Diddy's life in the court of public opinion is over. And I don't know what the defense is doing with their existence, but they're looking stupid, they're looking weak, and they're looking like they are losing their rabbit ass minds. Just to keep it a buck. So that is the case. That's my point of view on the trial so far. Y'all know we're covering it every day as it unfolds. I'm bringing it to you live as best as I can. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here. And we will just chill out for a little bit here. We'll end it at 1:30. I already did the Daily Motivator, child. Like I said, my Lord. I want to thank each and every person. Like I said, I always honor my commitments, right? So I said I was going to give y'all 3 shows in a day, and I did just that. Of course, our Epic Universe watch party celebration went on a little long because of hosts that did not know how to host a grand opening celebration. Believe me, if I was the main host, it would have been much more dynamic. Believe me, than that weak imitation of a live broadcast. But shout out to the control truck and everybody, because it does take a lot to do a live broadcast. So I'm not bragging too much, but y'all could have done better. A whole lot better. Hell, my live had more energy than live that Universal Orlando put out. So, but anyway, that's the here from there. So. But yeah, as we get ready to end it here, Like I said, one love, much love, all love to all of you. It is time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you're more special, because you are always one of us. And trust, you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why? It's one thing to call yourself. It's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, we're also be great together. And always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or like I said, maybe just recognizing that just because you have access to devices doesn't mean you should abuse them. Make sure the replay is not just for you. Watch it, not just for you. Let's do it, but for you want to experience it again. I love you. I value. I embrace you all. Always remember, receive love, you gotta give it. Receive love, you gotta give it. Receive love, you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles you have overcome, wherever success you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you. But no one else is proud of you. If no one else is proud of you, be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, listen. Truly, I remember when I said this is going to prove who's a real content creator, who ain't a real content creator. Anybody could talk about what they do, but it takes somebody to be about what they do. If you really want to know who is real and who is fake, look at what they're producing. That should tell you everything that you need to know. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's coming for the zone, way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as a culture. I feel love. And send it right back to you. By the way, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Good night, everybody. Hey, Colton James Hodge on YouTube, King speaking. Much love to you, brother. Bye, everybody.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills, with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.